Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit about the whole entire Epstein saga that's been going on recently. I know it's, there's so much to go over. There's so much file that, to be honest, like you can't read them all, obviously. And so you have to rely on independent journalists and other people out there to be able to give you some of the information. So that way you can collect these information and, present it to your viewers. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, before I start my argument, I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys this video here. Now, this has nothing to do with the Epstein file. Tim Tebow has nothing to do with the Epstein file. But I feel like this video right here is extremely important, especially in today's day and age, because it's not only the politicians who are involved in this whole thing. We are living in a society that is like, we're sick in the mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're sick in the mind. And so people need to understand that it's not only politicians. We have a problem in this society. We have a huge problem. All right. So let's listen to what Tim Tebow has to say, and you'll understand what I mean.
We're the #1 buyer of for boys and girls around the world. We pay for the rape of boys and girls in the Philippines, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Thailand. We're the #1 buyer. In peer-to-peer sharing of this information, we're third worst in the world. China, Russia, US, and Italy's fourth. This is one of the worst evils in the world. And people think, well, we're not doing that. Our hearts is to get this, message out, to be able to make change and then support our law enforcement and task forces that are working on this, because there are some freaking heroes that are fighting this every single day. They do not have as good of technology most of the time as those with the goal to do evil. They just don't. Do you know how hard it is for these law enforcement officers when you wake up every day and you watch a video of an infant, of an 18-month-old, a 9-month-old, and that's one of the #1 burnout rates for law enforcement.
Yeah,
How do you deal and process this? Like, you're hearing tragic stories probably daily. Like, I'm sure it becomes like a burden on you. Like, how are you dealing with it?
We have gotten to see a lot of evil in this world, and there are a lot of people with a goal to do evil.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and show you guys exactly what he's talking about. So I forgot to take the video back, but this right here is what he's talking about. So the video has reset.
Red dot is a unique IP address that is downloading and sharing child images and videos. Our law.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you got that. You have that image in your mind now. The society is sick in the mind. This is a problem that we can't really control it. And the reason why this problem is so massive is simply due to the fact that we are easily exposed to pornographic materials. It's so easy to access it now. And the more you watch this thing, the more desensitized you become into indulging in this type of stuff. And so all these red dots, like he just said, is pretty much people downloading child all over the United States of America. So we have a problem. We have a huge, huge problem. And one of the things that I want to tell you is the fact that it's not only politicians. So now, of course, the politicians they've been compromised long time ago. They've been compromised long time ago. And the reason why all this is coming out now is because our president is now commanding our puppet president to attack, so that way the heat doesn't fall on him and rather it falls on Donald Trump. They haven't released the whole entire file yet. There's still 3 million more files left that they have not yet released, and only God knows what is in there. Because all of these should have been released a long time ago, but they don't want to release it. Rather, they're literally, spoon feeding us all this information little by little. And I think the reason they're doing this is because Trump has not yet attacked Iran. Okay, because the information that we have now is enough to completely destroy the presidency of Donald Trump. It's enough to completely destroy the DOJ, FBI, whoever is responsible on bringing justice when there's a huge amount of crime that's going on. America is pretty much being run by gangsters. You guys have to understand that. It's not by these people. The politicians are just puppets in front of us to make it seem like we have freedom of choice and the freedom to pick who we want in the office. And in reality, we don't. And the number one example of that is simply because we have this baboon over here who is commanding the sitting president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, to attack Iran. Many of you guys don't really know exactly what's going on over there, but one thing that I will tell you is that Iran is not going to be in this fight alone. There's a lot of satellite images out there that Iran is using to strategically attack Americans, to strategically attack in case Donald Trump decides to start launching missiles. And guess where these images come from? From China. China is taking these images with their satellite and they are publicly posting this on social media, not social media, on the internet for the whole world to see. And Iran is taking advantage of that. When the riot and the revolution was going on in Iran, guess who helped Iran sort that out? It was China. So do you honestly think that if America decides to attack Iran, China is not going to get involved? Because China understands that this is also a threat to their country. And so now you have, this guy over here who understands that. He knows that. That's why he's commanding Donald Trump to do it. Okay? Because he wants America to take all the heat. Israel is a little tiny place in the world. Iran alone can easily wipe out Israel. But with the backing of America, guess what? All the heat is going to be lifted off of him. If you see my previous video, I have put a lot of emphasis on the fact that if this war is to take off, Israel is not going to get involved. Israel is not going to get involved. In fact, Israel has released articles saying that the relationship, the alliance between them and Americans is starting to die off, and it's better for them to start looking in the East for support. It's better for them to start making partnership in the East. So in the process of America attacking Iran, Israel is pretty much throwing America under the bus and saying, we no longer need you. We're only going to use you as a means to get close to who? The Chinese, the Russians. This is the whole plan behind this thing. And so obviously with the Epstein file, you guys have to understand that, they're keeping the 3 million. So that way, if Trump does not obey, they're going to go ahead and attack. Not attack. I'm sorry. They're going to go ahead and release the rest of those files. And I wanted to go ahead and show you guys this because this is a trending topic that's been going on lately. So this is what Trevor Noah had to say about Donald Trump. And I'll give you guys the video of what Donald Trump had to say after that.
Song of the Year. Congratulations, Billie Eilish. Wow. That is a Grammy that every artist wants, almost as much as Trump wants Greenland. Which makes sense. I mean, because Epstein's island is gone, he needs a new one to hang out with Bill Clinton. So, I told you it's my last year. What are you going to do about it?
See, this is the crazy thing. I swear to God, God is my witness. I had no idea the Grammy was going on until this video came on my feed. I had no idea because I don't give a shit about this. This is nothing more than just a distraction. And this brings me to my next topic, which is the fact, well, actually, before I get to the next topic, let me go ahead and show you guys Donald Trump's his reply to this whole situation when I looked this up.
He said that I spent time on Jeffrey Epstein's island. I didn't. I mean, he's a lightweight, this guy. He's a terrible, I think he's terrible. I thought he did a terrible job at the Grammys. I thought the whole Grammys was terrible. I watched part of it. It's not watchable. But he was a lousy host. I'd say not as bad as Jimmy Kimmel, but pretty close. He said that.
So yeah, obviously Donald Trump was not happy about that. And in fact, he said he is going to go ahead and sue Trevor Noah for what he said. I mean, let's be honest. If you're not on if you're innocent and you're somebody who know he haven't done anything on the island, well, why even care? I mean, I know it's astonishing your name and stuff like that, but your name is in the Epstein file a lot. Anyways, moving on to my next topic. So as I'm going through this, okay, what do you notice? Like, what do you notice? Because you see, one thing that I want to tell y'all is you have to be extremely careful on who you listen to on social media. You have to be extremely careful on who you take your information from, who you take your news from. And the reason why I say that is because Yeah, nothing. No e-file, no Epstein file on here. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and say I don't care. There's no Epstein file on here. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing. There's no Epstein file. Let's see who else we can look up on here. Let's see. Ben Shapiro. Let's see if he has said anything about it. Let's see. Any Epstein file. Interesting. Nothing. Wow. Elon Humar. Look at that. There's Ice, Venezuela, Don Lemon, Tom Homan. Yeah, you get the idea, ladies and gentlemen. No Epstein file. Who else? What about Michael Knowles? Okay. Interesting. Oh, actually, Michael Knowles got. Wow, see? Now that right there, ladies and gentlemen. Just one though. I guess what I'm trying to tell you guys is that, yeah, a lot of these people are bought and paid for. They're not gonna tell you what's important. They're not gonna tell you what's really going on out there. They pretend they do. They pretend they give a shit when in reality they don't. Okay. With the release of the Epstein file, not everything, but a lot of things has came to light. We now know that these people are involved in some sort of ritualistic, belief. Okay. And I like to put a lot of emphasis on the idea that although these people like to push to the masses that there's no God, these people, they are also involved in theology one way or another. And one of the main claim of, and one of the things that I can say to back up what I'm saying is that Jeffrey Epstein had a bank account, and the bank account was named after Baal. If you don't know who Baal is, let me see if I can go ahead and pull it up for you. So that way it gives you an idea of who it is, okay? This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is Baal. Baal is pretty much a deity that that's being worshipped to this day. And one of the most, what is commonly known for is child sacrifice, I don't know if I can say down here with that, but you get the whole idea, right? And throughout the whole entire Epstein file, a lot of the most disgusting ritualistic thing that they did involved child guys. Okay. And not just that, it's also involved in torture and doing all these disgusting things to pretty much infant. Okay. And the fact that these people are not really talking about it, the fact that they're not even saying anything about it except for Michael Knowles, and there's also huge, big, mega political commentators out there who will not even come near this topic, is for one, they're bought and paid for. These people don't give a damn. They've literally sold their morals simply because they want to, protect a bunch of PDF files. And so from here on forth, anybody that you listen to, any MAGA or anybody who says that, oh, they're here for your benefit, if you don't see them talk about this, understand that these people are not working for you. These people are here to spoon feed you information that is not of importance whatsoever. They'll be. I guarantee you probably knew that the Grammy was going on far before you even knew that 3,000 files of the Epstein saga has been released. And if that's the case, you need to go ahead and stop listening to that person because they're not in your favor. They're not somebody that want to, guide you onto the right path. And Benny Boy is somebody that was clearly, we understand who he works for. We understand his whole entire motive. Okay. And there was a video of him that was released. Of him pretty much claiming that there is no file and that he has sources in the FBI and they were telling him that there is no file, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward to there, we found out that all that was a lie. Let me go ahead and show you guys that video real quick if I can just find it. Okay. I have to kind of get this off of, Candace Owen here because I didn't do the due diligence of finding the clip for myself, but it's out there. It's just because I'm in the middle of recording right now and it's just going to take a while to find it because it's an old video.
Because he had sources and everything we needed to know was already out. Take a listen.
She went out there and claimed there were tens of thousands of hours of tape. There are, by the way, but they are child pornography. The reason the FBI is not releasing them is because those tapes do not include underage people with third parties on Epstein Island. That is not what the tapes are. Okay, I also have sources in the federal government who are covering this stuff and have seen the documents. Okay, those tapes are just child porn. That's all. That's what they are. That's why the FBI is not releasing them. Okay, as far as the Epstein list, what I have been told by my sources is...
So before he continues, I just want to let you guys know that some of those files, we now just found out that they were eating babies. Keep that in mind. They were eating babies, infants. So it wasn't just child, whatever he just said. It also goes beyond that. And in order for you to get yourself involved in that type of ritualistic thing, you have to be, how do I say it? You have to be like so morally bankrupt. Like it's a level that I can't even imagine. You know what I mean? And if you see my video that I posted yesterday, just the beginning of it, you don't have to go that far, just the beginning of it, I talked about how jinns, jinns or evil creatures is not only among the jinn, but also human beings have the capability to even be far more darker than jinns can. They're far worse than jinn, I'll say that. But let's continue.
That there is no Epstein list, that basically there's a black book of Jeffrey Epstein contacts. And the vast majority of those contacts are already out there publicly. That's why you know names like Prince Andrew or Alan Dershowitz or some of the names that have been mentioned here. Those contacts, there is no evidence, according to the DOJ and the FBI, and again, that's public, there's no evidence that any of those third parties were having girls trafficked to them. And that is not evidence that was made clear, certainly, to the DOJ or the FBI. Here is Tucker then asserting that it was actually Mossad. Again, without evidence, not a shock. Of course, this is where Tucker was going. This has become the hot speculation on the internet, is without evidence. You say that Mossad was running Jeffrey Epstein. When I say without evidence, I mean without evidence. Naftali Bennett, the former Israeli prime minister, said, quote, "As a former Israeli prime minister, with the Mossad having reported directly to me, I say to you with 100% certainty, the accusation that Jeffrey Epstein somehow worked for Israel or the Mossad running a blackmail ring is categorically and totally false. This accusation is a lie being peddled by prominent online personalities such as Tucker Carlson, pretending they know things they don't." And in fact, I followed up with the former Prime Minister, Naftali Bennett, and what he told me is that Mossad has not been active in the United States against the United States since the Jonathan Pollard scandal of 1987.
Oh my God.
US
Bro, you can't even look directly in the camera and tell you that, bro. Just look at the way he's like looking off to the side. Like in his mind, he's like, fuck, how the hell am I going to sell this to these people?
What he told me is that Mossad has not been active in the United States since against the United States since the Jonathan Pollard scandal of 1987, when a U.S. army contractor who's actually working for the Navy revealed classified information to the Israeli government. He was prosecuted by the United States government and ended up in prison.
I didn't watch
for
this whole
almost
clip.
30
This is
years.
hilarious.
And so Israel since then has not spied on the United States with Mossad.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you got the idea now, right? So, yeah. Let me just go ahead and just, zoom in. Well, I don't think you guys can read it, but it says Israel Defense Force. That's pretty much what it is, IDF. He's literally wearing that shirt. Let's see if I can find like a clear version of it. If somebody has posted on the side over here. I should probably be careful because, X tends to have very graphic videos and very graphic pictures that I shouldn't even post on here. But yeah, these are people's comments. So yeah, you guys get the whole entire idea. I guess what I'm trying to say is that guy is full of shit. I have no idea how Ben Shapiro is still on YouTube. Who even pays attention to this guy anymore, bro? Like, let's be quite honest with ourselves. After me just showing you guys that clip, and if you turn around and still listen to Ben Shapiro and still take your information from Ben, I'm sorry, you deserve to be misguided. You deserve to believe that Iran is the enemy. You deserve to believe that China and Russia and, pretty much everybody on the East or the brown people are your enemy. You deserve to believe all of that because you are going to be walking around like an ignorant person, and anybody you go up to saying that, oh, these are the bad guys, they're going to look at you like you're stupid. Ben Shapiro is somebody that you should not take serious. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Ben Shapiro is somebody that you should not take serious. And I knew this long time ago. I did not listen to this guy. I never subscribed to Ben Shapiro. Never. All right. That's one thing that I would say here and be proud of, that I never subscribed to him. And to this day, you're never going to see me listen to Ben Shapiro unless I'm reacting to something that he said. Yeah, I'm just skimming through here because, again, it goes on, bro. My God, it goes on. I will show you guys some of these things, but, you know, the list just goes on and on. There is a better picture right here. So this is the shirt that he was wearing, Israel Defense Force, right there. Okay, this is the shirt that he was wearing. So yeah, this idea that Mossad has not been working, okay, is number one, bullshit. Okay, like, let's be honest. You gotta be a sheep to not realize that Mossad does not sleep. These guys, they work day and night. Like, let's be honest. If they're not in the United States, they're probably somewhere else trying to plan some kind of false flag attack so that they can blame it on the Muslims. That's how they work. Okay, that's how they work. Guess what? I'm kind of glad that Ben Shapiro actually said that, because you need to understand that the fact that he said Mossad has not yet been operating tells me that something major is coming, ladies and gentlemen. They're working on something. And the fact that they have been dormant in America tells me that it is going to be a major event that is perhaps going to probably be far worse than 7/11. Because yes, 7/11 worked. They managed to get United States to go into Iraq and Afghanistan for over 20 years. Thousands of soldiers died. Millions of innocent Iraqis and Afghanis died because of the lies of weapons of mass destruction. And now we found out that, well, that was bullshit. All that was just to weaken the Israel's enemies, so that was easier for them to conquer those lands. Okay. But yeah, the fact that Mossad has been dormant in the United States and they haven't done any major event tells me that we need to now be prepared, because something major is coming. And I got to clip this so that way when it happens, I'm just going to go ahead and plaster all over social media and said I said it. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you get the whole entire idea now. That's a Epstein saga. Obviously, this is going to continue to keep going because 3 million files, let's be honest, that is that's going to take a very, very long time to skim through. And on top of that, they're going to release even more later down the line. I got to see exactly what it is that they're going to release. So if you made it this far, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and we'll continue our saga perhaps tomorrow or after tomorrow. We'll see. I'm going to try to see if I can collect more data. I'll catch you guys up later.